Time now for the gold medal match in the compound mixed team event here in Berlin, the fourth stage of the Hyundai Archery World Cup, and the final medal match of compound Saturday. Perhaps not the lineup we would have predicted for this gold medal match. Great Britain coming through the top of the order in a shoot-off against Colombia in the quarterfinals. They then went on to beat Italy to make it into the gold medal match. Slovenia coming through the bottom of the order, taking out Denmark before beating Russia in the semi-finals. So Great Britain versus Slovenia. Great Britain will line up with Ella Gibson and James Mason. They go up against Slovenia, who have Toja, Ellison and Stas Modic in their lineup. Let's go back to the range here in Berlin.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the athletes to the field for the mixed team gold medal match.
Meine Damen und Herren, bitte heißen Sie die Athleten für das Goldfinale der Compound Mixed Teams willkommen.
Well, there is Slovenia on target two, Toja Ellison, with her partner Stas Modic, the world number 21, through to the final here in Berlin.
Toya is very experienced, not only in a final setting, but in mixed teams. She's had many different partners, but always performed well with whoever she was shooting against, or shooting with.
And their opponents are finding their way into the field, into the final field.
Here come the British team. Ella Gibson leading out James Mason. Simon Scott there, the coach, looking on. Flown out because the British team did so well here in Berlin. Great Britain will shoot on target one, and they're ranked 20th in the world. This really isn't the lineup anyone predicted, is it?
No, definitely not. But Great Britain, again, shooting great, coming off their recurve team, having such success at World Championships, qualifying both their men's and women's teams. I think the entire team is feeding off of that, and you saw it this week with both their recurve and compound teams making finals.
Well, that's not a Slovenian, is it? That's an American. That's Brady Ellison, isn't it?
It is.
He's got a Slovenian t-shirt on. What on earth is he doing there?
He'll be coaching his wife, Toja, and her partner.
I see.
He likes to lead a double life. We see him changing uniforms quite a bit.
Well, Simon Scott had to pack his uniform because he was flown out last minute to Berlin. With the British team doing so well, it was felt that his presence was required for the British team. Great Britain on target one will shoot first for gold in the mixed team compound event here in Berlin.
Yeah.
10.
Solid 10, that's the start you want. This first end, as we've seen, really can be pretty crucial in these matches.
Nice shot from James Mason. Ella Gibson is very vocal, but she's got this very calming voice. Modic up into the nines. We've seen a few arrows going high at the start of matches here.
Exactly. Seems to be that the practice range, whatever the lighting is a little different. Archers are hitting a little high on their first arrows.
Yes.
What a shot.
Toja showed why she is one of the best in the world. Right there.
Where yours was, Stas? Did you see where it was?
Hear Brady Ellison there talking to the two Slovenians.
Nine.
Showing an 8, but I believe that was a 9. Yeah, okay, it's been upgraded now.
Gibson shooting first and fourth.
9.
She puts it in the 9 as well.
A little bit of an opening for Slovenia here. I'm not sure. This could be one of his first finals matches. Definitely not as experienced as some others Toya's shot with. So great to see him come and shoot a 10 in his second arrow. It's going to be a nice confidence boost for him.
Lots of time, good strong shot.
We see Toja also
Yes.
with that colored thumb trigger.
39 points for Slovenia. 2 excess shot by Toja Ellison and 19 points by Stas
job,
Modic.
guys.
So
Good job.
39 and 1
Don't
point
die.
less for Great Britain. 38.
Großbritannien liegt
Good job, guys. You'll be shooting second
zurück,
again, okay?
38, 39. Das Ergebnis nach
Good
dieser
shooting, guys. Keep it up.
Passe. Und Sie haben es vielleicht gesehen. Die Schützen
Right,
können
here's a
sich
look
selber
at
aussuchen, auf welche
the
Scheibe sie
arrows from
zuerst
Slovenia. That one high 9, the very first arrow, but then they dialed into the center, and that grouping was perfect. The opportunity presented itself to the Slovenians for their final 2 arrows. They could afford to drop a single point, but they weren't having any of it. They shot 2 10s to finish things off. And Toja Ellison, well, she shot 2 10s, a perfect start for her. And she's off the back of a win at the European Games in Minsk. Busy old season for Toja Ellison.
Yeah, she's had a great season, been dominant, good qualifying scores, good finishes. And Europeans, I know she was very happy she led from start to finish in that tournament.
Not shy of the limelight either. Seeing the camera focused on her gave us a big smile. She's looking very relaxed.
Whereas Great Britain is a little more serious up there.
There's a little tension in the air on the British side of the shooting line. We pick them up at the start of the second end. Great Britain trailing by 1 will shoot first.
Looks like it's just off it.
9.
Very precise process.
Those of you back home, you see the colors on the end of his arrows. That's an arrow wrap. A lot of compound archers like to use those. Makes it much easier for replacing your vanes,
10.
taking them on and off. You don't have to scrape the carbon arrow.
Stas Modic on the line for Slovenia.
9.
Confident again. Just pulling left and into the 9.
Good strong shot, baby. You got this. Yes.
Wow.
10.
Brady Ellison was not wrong. He said good strong shot.
And she delivered. Toja wants this. She is not one that wants to lose.
Yeah.
10.
Mason puts it down the middle as well. And their first arrow subject to a measure. I'm with you. I think that was just outside. Can't see that being upgraded. But Gibson gets another shot here in the second end. And she puts it
Nice
down the
ace.
middle as well.
So Slovenia is going to want to finish this end just like the first with 2 10s. Keep that lead.
Bit of a wobble.
Just
A
out low.
I
9.
think he's lucky to get a 9 on that one.
Good strong shot, babe.
There's a tip, wasn't it? It was going up and down. It wasn't
Yes.
going left to right.
Maybe a little bit of grip pressure issue he had going on.
The wince there tells its own story. Now,
And that was
Great
a little
Britain
quick.
Yeah, Great Britain already clear with a 1-point lead here. But that 9 is going to a measure. If that gets marked up, well, it could be a 2-point lead.
XX.
So it was confirmed a 9.
39 points for Great Britain.
X9.
37 for Slovenia. It's a 1-point lead up for the
9-9.
Well, there we go. Scores as they are on the score sheet. Great Britain trailing by 1 have picked up the lead. They now lead by a single point.
You see her checking her knocks with the coach. Probably got hit by her opponent's or her teammate's arrow. And you don't want to shoot an arrow that's had the knock be hit. Yep, you see her grabbing another knock out of the pack. She still wants to shoot that arrow, so she's going to replace the knock. Make sure it comes cleanly off the string.
Yeah, that one's good.
You see her twisting it. She wants to line it up just right.
Great little close-up, isn't it, of them, these small margins, right?
Exactly.
Leave no stone unturned, as they say. Slovenia trailing by 1 at the halfway stage will shoot first in the mixed team gold medal match against Great Britain.
Just above it.
So another 9 from Slovenia. You see a little bit of inexperience again, probably showing. But Toja, we know, has tons of experience. She knows what she's doing on a finals field.
She's
Yes.
really, really
right
solid
there.
and stable, isn't she?
Exactly.
You're good, Stas.
That's it, Ella. Your shot, your time.
Opportunity for Great Britain. Ella Gibson shooting first again. Puts it down the middle. That grouping on the left target is incredible.
Yeah, it's about half the size of the X-ring, but low and left. So be interesting to see if they make some slight adjustments to move that more towards the center.
Another
Beautiful.
one. They did make an adjustment. He's right on the spider there, James Mason. Bit of pressure now. Stas,
2-point
Modic.
lead with 2 arrows to go in this end.
Yeah, there it is.
There you go.
Good job.
Found the X-ring. He'll feel good about that.
Brady Ellison, words of support from the American, who's been drafted in as Slovenia's coach because of this lady here, his wife Toja.
Yeah, there it
And
is.
she's putting it right down the middle of the target here.
There you go. Good shooting. That's what I want to see, Stas. That was good.
Just a single drop point from Toja Ellison in the whole match. James Mason in with a chance for a perfect score for Great Britain. Puts it into the 10 ring. They could extend their lead here. Ella Gibson on the shooting line.
She's going to want this 10 pretty bad. She's going to want that perfect 40 end.
Yeah.
And she's
gets
got
it.
it. Brilliant stuff from Great Britain. They've extended their lead by a single point in the third end, and they go into the fourth and final end with one hand on the gold medal.
So 3-point swing on that end. Great Britain was up by 1, and now they're up by 2. Correction, so 1-point swing.
40 points needed by Great Britain.
But it's the swing of 3 points that came from after that first end for Great Britain.
Exactly.
And it's the consistency that they've dialed into that centre. That grouping on the left-hand side, those 9s down the bottom left, are actually all on the left-hand target. And they've just switched them up into the centre.
Yeah, it's beautiful. You see they've made the adjustment. That's what's necessary in these finals matches. That's what makes the difference. Just like changing the knocks, it's the fine details that determines the winner.
And if they stay as consistent as that, this is their medal, right?
Exactly.
Well, a perfect 40 was what they were after. Having shot 2 10s, Mason steps up to the line, puts it down the middle. Ella Gibson, nice and relaxed and calm, puts it even closer to the spider. A perfect 40 in the third end for Great Britain. Slovenia, trailing by 2, will shoot first in the final end of this gold medal match. Up to the mark, Stas Modic.
Yes, there it is. Good job. Good job.
Good shot. That's what they need. Toja put a 10
Nice
down,
and easy.
put
Good,
2
strong
10s,
shot.
puts a little bit of pressure on Great Britain. That's what Slovenia needs to do here.
Yes.
Little wince from Toja Ellison there, but it's in the 10
Good
ring.
start. One more piece.
That's it, Ella.
Ella Gibson.
Your shot, your time.
So you hear the coach, your shot, your time. Great words of advice.
Yeah.
Solid.
And again, that group continues, just drilling that X-ring.
Gibson, calming words for Mason.
Yeah.
Straight down the middle.
Right on
This
top
is
of her arrow.
It doesn't matter what Slovenia do. If Simon Scott can guide these two through to another couple of tens, the gold medal is theirs. Modic puts it on the spider.
He's got nothing but better in this match. He started a little rough, but better and better every arrow. So great future for him.
Slovenia on for a perfect score, and Toja Ellison's been great from start to finish in this match.
Yes.
She has dropped just a single point in the entire match for Slovenia, but Great Britain can afford to drop 1 point here and still claim the gold. Pressure on James Mason.
Yes, James.
Puts it into the 10 ring. Room for manoeuvre for Ella Gibson.
Just needs to put it in the yellow. Nothing fancy here. She's just going to want to stay calm and just execute her shot.
Stayed cool, drops it into the 9. A 9 was all they needed. Great Britain have taken the gold medal here in Berlin in the mixed team compound event.
Great match, great match. 1 point separated, gold and silver.
Again, 39 points.
What a great match. I mean, hats off to Slovenia. They were brilliant. They were really good. And got to take a hat off specifically for Toja Ellison, whose husband, the American Brady Ellison, was stepped in as the coach. She dropped 1 point in the entire match.
And not only that, she had 5 X's out of her 8 arrows. I mean, that's just incredible shooting by Toja. She's really coming in, finding her own this year. And look at that big smile.
Blowing us all a kiss. Thank you very much. That was absolutely superb. But it just goes to show how well Ella Gibson and James Mason shot to take the title, given Toja Ellison's performance. And a big warm hug for them. I'm sure there's some emotions going on in that British team at the moment. Simon Scott having been flown out because of the results in the qualification stages for the Great Britain team. And wow, the British team on a massive high, having qualified all their quota spots for Tokyo. They are really coming to the boil at the right time.